So after a flight of 8.5 hours, we've arrived in the hotel in Entebbe, the IBB, which backs on to Lake Victoria. We're only here for the first night because it's unsafe to travel across Uganda in the dark. So tomorrow we'll be getting up, breakfast, and making our way to Kampala to change up some money, and then on our way to the village of Kabubbu. As we embarked on our journey to Kabubbu, we had a quick stop in the capital of Uganda, Kampala. Here we would be exchanging some money into Ugandan shillings at a rate of around 5,000 shillings to the pound. We'd also be doing a little bit of shopping for drinks and snacks to take into the village. On the main road to Kampala, we were shocked to find a young man on rollerblades taking a ride by hanging off another car. At about 40 miles an hour, one slip could have been fatal. So we're just doing a bit of shopping in a Ugandan supermarket in the capital, Kampala. So we've got some quite interesting things here. Managed to get myself a bottle of Bailey's, the equivalent of about 16 quid for a whole litre, which is rude not to, really, when you've got bizarre bits and then your normal bits. Vodka and gin up here, Aristocrat, for about 4 quid. Other than the guy on the rollerblades, the journey into Kabubbu itself didn't throw up too many surprises. Many of the roads in Uganda were built by the Chinese, and you don't really notice you're on them until you reach a hole-ridden, mud-sliding and children-roaming track. We even nearly had time to make a quick stop at the local Burger King. So we've got to the village of Kabubbu. We've got in our room, as you can see. We've had a bit of lunch, we've had some chickpea soup, and shortly we're going to go for a tour of the village and see what's what, and then we'll go from there. The tour of Kabubbu took us around the closer area by the resort where we were staying. We were shown the primary school with a playground like you wouldn't see in Britain, and a playground with unusual plaques on the wall. We were taken around to the health centre and the AIDS clinic, which, thanks to the funding and the charity work, has recently set up a dental area. We moved on to Trust High School, the secondary school in the village. We continued down this muddy path, taking in some of the breathtaking views and the roaming animals, and we ended up at the orphanage. One special lady looks after a huge amount of children. We finished the tour at the local park, full of different colours and swings and slides and tyres and even voice amplifiers and more. All of the children love it. This one was built by volunteers in the past. Our first day in Kabubbu had nearly come to an end. After a long day travelling and a tour of the village, we had some dinner and sat down to a meeting. We met with Enoch, the director of the Kabubbu Development Project, Augustine, the main local farmer sponsored by the company Grays, and James, the bubbly head teacher at the local primary school. They spoke about their own areas and how we would be helping over the course of the next week or so. We learnt that we'd be building a house for a family, planting food for the village, painting a storage container in the local primary school playground, and teaching the children in the primary school English, with the head of department, John. Okay. The 8 AM assembly at the primary school is always such a momentous occasion. They do this 6 days a week during term time, Monday all the way through to Saturday. Lots of singing and dancing, followed by a few very quick messages from the head teacher. After his messages, our group were invited onto the stage to introduce ourselves to the children. The sound is very low on this video, but each time we said our name, the children would repeat it over and over until they could say it. Of course, it helped both the group and the pupils that there was a translator that worked for the school. Peace his name is, and he's very useful to have around. He tells the children what's going on and helps them learn our names when they're just not quite getting it. Along with the other staff at the primary school, Peace also knows the names of each and every student at the school. So when one of our group had the same name as the students, Peace asked the pupil with the same name to raise their hand.
Just keep quiet and listen carefully. You have Michael here?
Hello, my name is Richard.
Good morning all of you, my name is Alan.
Where's Alan?
Do you want to read back up your content?
Later that morning, the group split into one of 3 areas of
One
work:
seed.
the building, farming or painting. I went to the farming plot with Dan, Jade and Elizabeth. Augustine had already marked out the plot, which is done by rope and beads. We decided we would plant Swiss chard, and this would take about 3 months to grow and harvest. You can see here that everything is done with your fingers. There are no rulers,
maybe about
combine
5.
harvesters or any artificial
But I
goods.
mean, like one.
It's all
how many
measured with your
seeds
fingers.
down?
5 going down and as many as you can along the side of the plot. It's measured that if you put your hand out, the space between the top of your index finger and the top of your thumb measures how far away the seeds go from each other.
Yeah.
Measuring system.
Yeah, you've got little hands, so you'll do 6.
So that's it.
Cool.
Now for it to start, you can start on any garden.
Hang on, can I pause my hand?
You can choose to work at 2. You can choose to work at 2 in pairs so that one just puts and another one just covers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What's that? No, I'm not up in Harold. Probably supposed to be I'm getting along the middle of that. From Houston. But I'm moving this month actually to Holloway Road. That'll be quicker. Yeah, I'll be on the 15 line. I've been at that place for 4 years and it's just... Yeah, I'll try and...
We made our way through the plot and planted all we could. We were even told about how they make a scarecrow. We took a moment to have a look around and noticed a dog sitting on top of the wet twigs that we would be using for mulching. He even smiled for the camera. The stunning view of the other side of the field was fantastic. Myself, Jade and Dan both did farming with Augustine in Kabubbu of April 2014. We planted maize, which is also known as corn. I asked Augustine if we could return to see what we'd planted, and the results were incredible.
Where we were.
Yeah, we picked those.
Storing them.
Yeah, we picked those down there. But now these are also picking there.
That's a massive corn on the cob.
But it's,
I know it is, isn't it?
it's easy to leave them behind, like that one has been left behind. There's that one left
So
behind.
they snap them when they're done. Bend them when they're done.
Oh, do they?
Is that right?
There's this one. It is very easy to leave them back. There's another one here. So these are very big maize. Quite huge.
So wait, where are we going to put them now?
This,
Yeah.
they take them, dry them.
Yeah, they
then,
need to
then
dry.
they remove the grain.
Yeah.
When they remove the grain, it comes off easily when it is dry.
Yeah.
It's done by hand.
What's
wrong with these
By hand. But you've got this factory, haven't you, that you're going to...
So when you remove this, you dry it one day and then mill it. You take it to milling mill and then you'll get your portion flour, which you use for eating. The schools use it, hospitals use it, the army use it, the police use it. It's a common crop.
What are they doing with these ones?
Are they just ready to be
They are collecting
transported?
them, so
Yeah.
they'll put them in the bags and then
The afternoon was spent teaching English at the primary school. English is a vital part of all education in Uganda, and from primary school they are encouraged to speak English. In fact, in the Kabubbu primary, it's one of the school rules to actually speak the language. Traditionally from home they'd speak Lugandan, which is what a lot of the residents in Uganda speak, unless of course they've had an education. That's where it comes from, that's the menu.
Oh, that's your menu. From here or from there?
I don't know.
This is samosa, mandazi, chapati.
Is that Kabubbu menu?
It was somebody from town.
Ah,
Someone's restaurant. Photography.
sent it to me.
So pilau is rice.
Yeah, rice. Special rice. Yeah. Plain chips. Dozen chips, beef and chips. Liver. Do you like liver? Yeah.
I enjoyed it when I was in Lisbon.
Yeah. Istanbul. Turkey.
Around the seashore.
Ah, on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. No, what's this potato?
It's banana, peanut sauce. They put bananas, then pour mix it.
Smaller and smaller until it was no bigger around than a doorknob. As Anansi sat around waiting for his waist to expand again, he had time to think. I guess it's not such a good idea to be so greedy. And that is why a spider has a small waist. So that's the story. I hope you all enjoyed it. Well done yourselves. Well done. So, just a few words in there. We'll run through and see if you understand the meaning. What's the first one?
Greedy, I think was the first one.
Okay, so everyone knows that Anansi, the spider, is greedy. Does anyone know the definition or the meaning of greedy? What is greedy? What is greedy? Does anyone
We can do it with the space, couldn't
Yeah,
we?
we could do.
We could do it with that.
I spent a great deal of time back home preparing for the English lessons that I was leading. We had a book called Anansi Goes to Lunch. Anansi was a character that all the children knew, as there was a series of books all about him. All of the Anansi books have a moral, and this one was not to be greedy. The book, of course, was about Anansi, who was a spider, and he met all of his friends at the market, and all of them invited him round for food. Of course, Anansi said yes to all of them, and asked them to pull on a bit of string attached to him when the food was ready. As it happened, they all pulled on the string at the same time.
Before lunch, I will tell you what.
One, two, three.
And as he reached into his pocket and pulled out a long string. Oh, tie
This
string around my waist.
yeah. So it says I'll tie this string around my waist. Okay. So I'll tie.
Tie this string around my waist. And you take the other end. When that is ready to be eaten, just pull on the
Whilst the English lessons were ongoing, I spoke to John, the head of English at Kabubbu Primary, and asked him about the importance of English in Kabubbu and Uganda as a whole.
So John, why is English so important in Africa, learning English?
In English, first of all, is from the British colony, because Uganda is under the British colony, and as they came in, they taught us English. First of all, is to ease communication between the British and the Ugandan natives, and from then it went on improving our normal ways of living. One is, as we went to schools, we were taught in English. And to be in school, you must learn English, so that, because it was a mode of communication. And after that, after school, you have to go and look for jobs. And in those jobs, you have to speak English. So with English, to get a better job, you must have good English to be working in a big office.
And it's all taught in the schools, isn't it? And the children seem to really like it.
Yeah, in schools right now, we still do encourage them to speak English. One of the reasons why we encourage them is during exams, the papers are being set in English. That means they must write in English. And that's why we always encourage them to speak English even at school.
Were you at school when you learned English? How old were you when you learned?
At school, I also learned English. By then I was around 12, primary, from 12, 13, 14 years from my childhood. And it was 7 years when I started my primary. And all those years I had to learn English. And that helped me go back to reach secondary, and that helped me also get another good grade.
So finally, how long have you been teaching English here at the Kabubbu Primary School?
Kabubbu, this is now the 8th year.
8 years?
Yeah, 8 years now in Kabubbu teaching English.
Wow.
But in my profession, this is the 9th year teaching English since I joined the profession of teaching.
Nice.
I've taken 9 years teaching English.
Well, many happy years to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have more years to teach English here in Kabubbu.
Good, good, that's wonderful. Thank you, John.
That evening, we enjoyed an African-themed evening at the resort where we were staying. This involved the local school children putting on a performance and the local ladies group doing some singing for us. So, naturally, I whipped out my African shirt that I bought yesterday and got in the spirit. Most of the people in the group, one by one, were taken up by the ladies to dance with them. My dad, Neil, was first, but, well, I just played the camera. Most of the group split up into the 3 sections for the morning. However, Dan, Jade, Ella and myself went to visit the families that Dan and his family sponsors. This included a 6 to 8-year-old man called Peter. On my previous visit to Kabubbu in April 2014, myself and 5 others visited Peter for our development challenge. We found out a lot about him and his daily struggles, and then visited him on the next day with gifts that will make his life easier. We could only spend the equivalent of £100. We were shocked and saddened upon arrival to find out that this time his roof had collapsed on a house he had built many years ago. However, Peter's sponsors, Deborah and Malcolm Rosie, were paying the rent on another place for him to stay. Deborah and Malcolm are Dan's parents, so Dan had some gifts for him, and I also took some gifts for Peter.
We'll see you in that show next time, Peter.
Fits perfect.
Very nice.
It's a nice shirt, actually.
Very nice show.
Wow.
Very nice. Very good,
Some biscuits. Some sweets. Some granddad sweets. Oh, some socks. There's a letter from my mum and dad.
Ebbaluwa maama we ne taata we be bagikuweereza kati nokusoma kusome Dear Peter, I hope this message finds you well. Asubira message ene kusanze ng'oli bulungi. I'm hoping that Dan, our son, and his girlfriend Jade have delivered a gift to you from us here in England. Asubira Dan. N'emikwano gwe bakutuusizaako ekirabo kyabwe okuva e Bungereza. I do hope that the shirt fits and that you like the color.
I think it's lovely.
I'm also hoping that you enjoy the sweets and the biscuits. Kyasubira esaati gy'aweereza ekutuuse ne langi ogyagala. Era alowooza nti biscuit ne sweets obyagadde. With the help from the Quicken Trust, we should soon be able to find you somewhere safe and dry to live.
They must know that.
They must. Because you said I'm thoughts. I know that Lillian is doing her best to sort this as soon as possible. God bless Debbie, Malcolm, Dan, and Jen. Kati ne bagamba nti basuubira mu bwangu ddala bagenda kukikolako ekyokubeera ng'osula obulungi. Era asuubira nti Lillian ajja kufuba okufuba bw'asobola. Ne bakusiibula bano bonna nga bwe boogedde be bali wano Debbie, Malcolm, Dan, and Jen. Ne bakutumira nnyo. Thank you very much for everything.
And can I give him a hug from Debbie? She told me to give him a hug.
Kakati Debbie yatumye ono bwakulabako akuwe hug. Kati kkiriza sooka oyireete kukwatireko oweeyo bakuwe hug.
From Debbie.
Okuva eri Debbie eyamugambye akuwe hug eyo. Yeah.
Thank
you very much.
You're welcome.
I've got some things for Peter as well.
Ono alinawo ebirabo byakuleetedde.
There's a blanket,
Bulangiti.
a clean, dry blanket.
Bulangiti nungi nnyo ogyebikke empewo tekufuuwa.
A pillow.
Kano kapiro tekako omutwe.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're lovely, aren't
I
they?
wanted to take clothes in this right.
Some more socks, bright yellow, will stand out.
Socks. Ngirabe ya kala ya yellow kuteekamu obeera oshininga.
Bottle of water.
N'amazzi gano onywako kubanga amazzi bwe bulamu. Yeah.
What else is in here? There is a wind-up torch.
Waliwo ne torch eno onyola bunyozi bwoti.
Push that up.
Ah.
Nice.
Ogirabye?
Wind-up torch.
Kama wana kugula manda. Oh, thank you very much because there is no buying. There is no buying
And
batteries. You just
Yeah, you just
yeah,
want
no
it.
batteries needed.
olina kunyola bunyozi.
Some toothpaste. I know you've got some toothpaste from Dan.
Eddagala ly'amannyo.
Toothbrush. That should keep you going for a while.
Should
put it in the
Yeah.
Yeah, one more there.
N'akalala kaakano wayongeddemu.
Packet of tissues.
Tissues.
If you get it wrong,
Yeah. If you need to wipe your nose or something,
Bw'oba
packet
omulabo
of tissues.
instead of a handkerchief.
Yeah.
mu kifo ky'akatambaala okozesa kano akantu oba osiibula mimwa oba osiibula nnyindo oba ki kakola nga katambaala okolako kamukamu. Yeah. How are you? Take up the torch and then what?
After seeing Peter, we moved on to some of the other people Dan's sponsors. Dan gave them gifts and asked them how they were getting on. On the way to one of them, we went past this quite phenomenal ants trail. One of the ladies that we visited lived at quite a nice place. She did work for the owner, and in return she could stay at the house. You can see it has nice beds, mosquito nets, and it even has a little shop from the front door. Although some of the children that we visited were just happy with blowing bubbles that we gave them.
Start crying again.
The mom said thank you very much for the gifts you sent.
Oh, well, that's okay.
They received it.
I hope they were useful.
Yeah.
How many of the kids go to school?
Today, we visited a lady called Teddy. She's 30 and her son is 11. Teddy has TB, malaria, AIDS, and couldn't move from her bed. Her son, Frank, was doing everything for her. This included duties such as collecting water, cooking, cleaning, fetching her medication, and much, much more. She sleeps on a damp old mattress, and Frank, well, he sleeps just on the cold, hard floor. It's heartbreaking to see, but this is our development challenge. We asked Teddy some questions about her day-to-day life, and tomorrow we'd be going to the market and delivering gifts to make life living easier for the pair of them. We started the morning at the assembly as usual. It was my group's turn to perform at the assembly, and it only had to be a short performance, but it had to have a moral, with a translator, peace, so the children knew what was going on and what was being said by the narrator Richard Gallen. We did the Lion and the Mouse story, which it seemed the children really did take to.
Everyone fears the lion. One day, when the lion was asleep, a little mouse ran past the lion, angered, the lion caught the mouse. The lion was about to eat the mouse. The mouse spoke.
Don't eat me! Don't eat me! I promise I'll repay you.
How can a little mouse repay me? But I'll let you go for being funny. The mouse ran away and the lion went back to sleep. Later, a group of hunters found the sleeping lion and caught him in their nets. Celebrate their catch, and the lion cried for help. The mouse heard the cries of the lion and came to help. He nibbled at the ropes of the nest, and with his sharp teeth, he freed the lion. Thank you, little friend. So the moral of our story is that kindness is never wasted, and even little friends make a great friends.
We spent the morning at the market. We had written a shopping list the evening before with things that we would be giving to Teddy and Frank. Of course, though, that market wasn't your typical country square with a stereotypical farmer chewing on a bit of straw market. Oh no, the place stunk. Hustle bustle surrounded the place with some of the biggest cows you've ever seen roaming free. Although we were followed by a madman around the market who made us all feel really uneasy. We managed to shake him off after about 3/4 of an hour, while the storks and buzzards circled above, whilst people slept at their stalls due to no business. You couldn't even make some of this stuff up. The place is beyond anyone's imagination, and the smell, well, I wouldn't wish anyone to have to experience that. And these, have a guess what these are? No? These are oranges. Just not right. So yesterday we met a lady called Teddy, as you've seen in the pictures, who had TB, malaria, and was in a really bad way. Today we've been shopping at the market and picked up some bits and bobs, like mattress for Frank, her son, who's 11, mosquito net. We bought some chickens, food and bits and bobs that are really going to make a difference. Also, there's some bits and bobs that we've brought along as well. We're going to give her this suitcase here, and on this bed here is everything that we're going to give her. We'll give a pair of everything. You've got a t-shirt, water, shorts, socks, stickers, torch, blow up, beach ball type of thing, toothpaste, a toothbrush and toothpaste, some more toothpaste, soaps there, shaving stuff, bubbles, balloons, chewits, t-shirt, lollies, a lovely teddy bear, an England shirt, bags, and a jumper. So obviously this all will make a difference. I just want to thank everyone who has donated towards the trip. The money really is going to a really good place. So do enjoy these pictures. They're about to come through from what we're about to do. Upon arrival, both Teddy and Frank were extremely pleased to see us all again. We bought a lot from the market, including soap to wash the clothes. Jade and Sarah offered to wash the clothes, whilst Adam, Mike, Neil and myself went with Frank to collect some water. We walked for about 15 minutes down this hill with 5 jerry cans, 3 of which we'd bought from the market. We leant over these precariously balanced logs into this dirty borehole with a nasty smell. Frank would have to do this usually about twice a day, and then boil it up to get rid of a lot of diseases within the water. Between the 4 of us, we carried them back up the hill to the living quarters, as it can't really be described as a house. We told Teddy what we bought for them and what we'd done. She was extremely thankful for all the gifts, and Frank, for the first time, had a bed of its own. We made it and put the mosquito net up. Then I gave Frank a gift, courtesy of our sponsors. We know how much you do for your mum, and we've come with things for you and your mum today. We know you like football. Courtesy of our friends Super Stitch 86 in England, There's a shop called Super Stitch. We give you this football. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. The gifts just kept coming for Frank. In an incredibly touching and proud moment, my dad gave Frank his England shirt. About half an hour before, though, Adam had given Frank his Newcastle United shirt, which he didn't put on. But Frank put his England shirt on straight away, and his wonderful beaming smile showed more than words could ever say. We played football with Frank for a little while as the girls blew bubbles with the local children. It just goes to show how far your donated money goes and how happy it makes people with even the simplest of things. This morning was the final part of the manual work we'd been doing. Decorating the container was nearly complete, but that was to be finished tomorrow with the children. A lot of the farming had already been done, and the progress on the house for the family was well on the way. The bricks are all handmade and almost double the weight of the ones we find at home. Often the workmen are seen in bare feet or in very little shoes, but after a good half an hour walk, we finally reached the building site.
Chain.
Yeah,
I'll do a bit of soil.
I don't mind. Wherever you want me. Jack, can I put my phone in?
Yeah, Rich, I think your head builder, sir. Yeah. Joram elect.
I've got Joram's boots on.
You are head builder. Where do you want us?
It's up to you, like wherever you want to go. I'll do soil again, because that's fairly tough, then I'll probably shift on to bricks at some point as well.
Where do we need to move the bricks from?
They've renamed it 10 Health now.
Oh, okay. So it's more of a lifestyle brand.
I think they've got 8 studios.
I like it really close.
Yeah.
Where are they going?
But it's good to break it up into the floor.
The final assembly that we would be leading was a special one. For the entirety of the trip, Toby Clifford had been teaching the children at the primary school different songs and dances. This included Gangnam Style and the YMCA. But there was one particular song that the children really took to, and that is what we based our assembly on. As we finished up at the building site and spent the afternoon teaching English for the last time, we started to think about the next morning. Arts and crafts and finishing off the container. We had different coloured gloss paints to use. We had blue, red and yellow, and it would be the school children that would be putting handprints all over the container. It was mainly myself and Dad that took charge of this, and it was much more carnage than we could have ever imagined.
Okay, you want to get some bread? Have some bread? And then come over here somewhere. See that there? That's good. That's it. Now go to the water. Okay, and again, do another one. Okay. That's it. Okay, now shake some off. That's it. And then there. Nice and high. Lovely. Well done. Do you want to do another one? Another one there? Lovely. Right, I'll have your hand. That's it. Some of that off. Okay, now go over to the water. Take it off. Over there. Okay, that's lovely. You're left-handed. You are the first left-handed person of the day. Okay, over to the water. Right, that's it, Gumbers. Very good. Well done. That's it, have your hand. Alright, so you do another one here. On there. Wonderful, that's great. Have your hand. Okay, over there. Lovely. Right. Okay, now go over to the water.
We did try to have a system of hand in paint, do your handprint, I'll wipe the excess off, then wash it in the water, but obviously it didn't really work like that. But I was then lucky enough to be able to ring the lunchtime bell, or the gong, and then carnage really
This is
did
becoming alarming now. Right, over to the water on the other side. No, this is now becoming alarming. One at a time. Okay. One water around the corner. Feel free to suit yourself with baby wipes on your hands and to the water. Side, yeah.
What?
The children all went back to their lessons after about half an hour, which gave us just enough time to finish the container before football. We got to the places that the children couldn't reach and ensured it was filled with handprints all the way around. It was a really fun project to do and it now looks fantastic. Colour from the top to the bottom and all the way around. Me and Dad finished it off with the final 2 handprints before we got ready for possibly the most important football match that there has ever been. Ever. We'd played football most of the days at the primary school since we'd arrived. I suppose some would call it pre-season training for the Saturday game. But 3 o'clock was soon upon us, and so was the torrential rain and a thunderstorm, but kick-off was imminent. It didn't dampen our spirits being soaked through to the core, and after we cleared the pitch of goats and cows and marked out with twigs where the 2 feet deep holes were, we were ready to kick off against the local side. In a kit that Hastings United Football Club had kindly donated, I couldn't let my local side down. We took an early lead thanks to a good finish from Adam Bowler, but a stunning save from John Emongot kept us in the game. We had John and a local known as Ronaldo on a 90-minute loan deal from Kabubbu. As we pressed to double our lead, the opponents took advantage just before half-time, giving them a lift going into the break. Angus Clifford went close to putting us back in front with a 35-yard thunderbolt, which was pushed behind for a corner. Then suddenly, I caught the host defence off guard and took the ball from the defender and was through on goal. With only the keeper to beat, I slotted calmly into the bottom corners, put us back in front with half an hour or so to go. Dad and I had been absolutely ran ragged by their number 4 and 6. It seemed we played about 10 minutes injury time before the referee blew the final whistle, but it didn't matter. We'd done it. Hastings and England 2, Kabubbu 1, and for me to score the winner in Claret and Blue at Hastings United, it just seems to be fitting. There was just enough time for a quick photo before we ran between the raindrops for a shower. After being treated to an extra hour in bed, Sunday morning was church service at Trust High School. After a very loud but fun start with all the singing and dancing and lots of entertainment, the service soon changed. Guest speakers were invited onto the stage, including Quicken Trust founder Geraldine Booker. She spoke for just over an hour, and without sounding too disrespectful, being in a very hot room for such a long time wasn't the most pleasant experience. Our final afternoon in Kabubbu gave us all some time to just chill out at the resort. Some ladies came over and taught us how to drum African style, which is probably harder than you would think. We were then given an African skirt and shown how to dance, although I think dance may be a bit of an overstatement. It was more like walking along in a line, bobbing up and down, but I'll probably let you make your own mind up. Anyway, it was fun. After that, we had an hour or so basket weaving. This is done from the willow and other rushes grown locally to Kabubbu, and of course the surrounding areas. Each of the strands are dyed in either red, yellow, orange or purple colouring, and then weaves together to make other items such as baskets, placemats and posters. final morning in Kabubbu was emotional for a lot of us. We'd all made good friends at the primary school and saying goodbye is never nice. They'll ask you when you're coming back because they get so many people back for a second, third and even a fourth time. I had to tell them I could be back in a couple of years, whereas other people just said soon. We were then invited up onto the stage at assembly, and the head teacher James gave us God's blessing and thanked us for all of our hard work and wished us all well in the future. There was just about enough time for a quick group photo. May I also add the only group photo of the whole trip, which just includes John and his son Arthur, right there on the left-hand side. In another touching moment, my dad gave James one of his Man United shirts. It was apparent throughout the week that James was a supporter of United and was very thankful to Dad for giving him some more merchandise. And maybe he got a bit too thankful. Soon after that, we said our goodbyes and made our journey back towards Entebbe, where the airport is. About a 2-hour trip took us back through the really rural areas of Uganda and back to the capital Kampala before being back on the shores of Lake Victoria in Entebbe. Before the flight though, we embarked on a trip to Uganda Chimpanzee Sanctuary, which is one of about 3,000 islands on Lake Victoria. We took a speedboat to the island, which took about 45 minutes to cover 18 miles. We'll be having lunch on the island and contributing to their funding towards the chimpanzees. The island is home to 48 chimpanzees, including a newborn. It consists of about 100 acres, of which 98 is forested and separated by an electric fence to the human camp. It's kept alive by the generosity of tourists and the fundraising, so it's a really good cause. Chimpanzees are insanely clever and who are the animal who we share the most of our genes with. To be precise, 98.7% of our genes we share. The remaining 1.3 just consists of things like our independence, our knowledge, the fact we can put clothes on, change a light bulb and general things. But they do know exactly what they're doing. It's just before we got to the island, one of them escaped through the electric fence. One of the chimps got a stick and lifted the bottom of the electric wire while he climbed underneath it. Then he gave the stick to his mate to help him do the next one. So after that, he was free to roam the rest of the camp. But along with that, they know what they're doing, and the way they peel their food should it need peeling. They do this with their fingernails, and we saw them do it to carrots. But if they feel threatened by the people looking on, they shout and throw rocks at them. And as we know, they have very good aim. But looking around, I just looked up in one of the trees and was shocked but incredibly happy to notice a fish eagle sitting up in the tree on its own. A truly spectacular specimen to see just living in the wild. After that, we moved on to the baby chimp, just 4 months old and adorable. There was just enough time for one more meal. We had this at the Boma Hotel in Entebbe, and the hotel and food was gorgeous. A swimming pool, a pool table, and lovely food. We all sat round one table for the first time in the whole 10 days. I'd like to personally thank everyone who has helped towards this trip. We've seen so many smiles throughout the 10 days, made lifelong friends and memories to treasure for a lifetime.
Well, this is a charity project that it's really nice to have been in quite early on, actually. So raising the money, finding the sponsors, and now the big success.
Yeah, we exceeded our total by a long way, thanks to the generosity of all family, friends, and all the sponsors that gave us things to take out, and the charities that we're helping is a really good one.
And you exceeded the amount of money that you wanted to get?
Yeah, by quite a long way.
Oh, that's amazing and really good. Congratulations, everybody. And you have got some people you wanted to thank.
Yes, I've got Art Kellenswood Academy donated loads of stationery exercise books, textbooks. Super Stitch 86 donated loads of footballs. Hastings United Football Club, they donated a whole kit for us to take out. We played a football match in that and then gave the kit away at the end.
Did you win?
Yes, I scored the last minute win.
Oh, well done.
Well,
Very
not
good.
last minute,
Good.
but that was good. Mount Street Dental Practice in Battle gave us loads of toothpaste to take. Hastings Masons, they gave us loads of teddy bears. Yourself, for the time you've put into it, and all the family and friends that have helped along the way.
So what's the next process? What are you going to do now?
Finish my film, which is what you're doing
Wrapping
now.
up,
Yeah,
yeah.
Wrapping it all up, and then hopefully in a couple of years, maybe return 2017. Hopefully.
Good. Well, well done to you. Well done to everyone. And it's always nice to see a project start and then right the way through to a really successful conclusion. So congratulations.
Thanks very much.
And well done, everyone.